Hello there and welcome to another Starfield ship review video. In today's video we're going to be looking at the Spacer Jackal. In my case there is no number, so this is the lowest tier version of the Spacer Jackal you can get. Just looking at it, I believe this is based on the Ranger ship, which is a common ship in the Freestar Collective territory. It's usually one of the ones that the Freestar kind of police force use. So the Spacers clearly got their hands on one and decided to kit it out in their own styling. So stat-wise, it's got a fuel of 600, which is pretty good. You can jump pretty decent amounts without needing to stop. It's got a hull of 631, which is, again, it's quite low for like a B-class combat vessel. Which, being a Spacer vehicle, they're always going to have to be combat vessels because all they do is steal your stuff and kill you. And then cargo capacity, it's got 1765, which is not bad for like a smaller B-class vessel. You could obviously put more cargo if you wanted to, but I'm assuming the original cargo setup was just the Spacers preferred it. So we've got a B-class reactor with 17 power, which is extremely low power. This, just looking at the weapon configuration, we're going to have some difficulty powering stuff. It's got a crew of 5, which is actually quite interesting considering the ship is quite small. It's got a jump range of 24 light years, which is smack bang in the middle of the road. Not bad, not good. You can jump to probably 80% of locations in this game with that jump drive. It's got 630 shields, which is pretty decent. Like, obviously max shields for C class is 1600. But the most you'll ever really see on these kind of vanilla ships is about 1100, 1200. So like half that shield is doesn't sound like the best, but it's not bad, you know. It'll get the job done. And then we've got 3 sets of weapons. We've got a laser weapon, a ballistic weapon, and we've got 2 EM weapons, which makes sense because the Spacers like to steal your stuff. So it's got the laser weapon there on the port side under the bridge. We've got, it looks like a cannon on the starboard side, and then underneath both of them we've got 2 of them EM weapons. So obviously I'm buying this ship, but that's just because I always sell these ships beforehand just so I can see the default stats, because I have perks that increase some of the stuff. So if you are looking to pick up this vessel, like most of these kind of ships that are owned by factions that like fight, you have to go out and basically hunt them down. So I would go to a far out system, preferably a high level one like a red system if you can afford to, and then just jump between each of the planets, make some in-system jumps, and every time you make a jump there's a chance of a random encounter popping up. Sometimes it's people asking for help, a lot of the time you're just getting attacked, and then when you get attacked just pray that it's this ship. If not, just keep going until you find it. It's an overgalactic ship, which is kind of interesting. And then it's a pretty cool ship. I quite like the look of the Ranger. It's very kind of modular. Would that be the right word? Probably not the right word. Obviously the Freestar don't have like the star yards like Deimos. They have to rely on ships that are more kind of jack of all tradesy. So we've got a Nova Galactic entryway. We're gonna climb up into the ladder. So something I noticed about the naming is they tend to be named based off of scavenger animals in real life. So you've got like the coyote, the jackal, the vulture, which is pretty cool. Makes sense, you know, fitting the vibe of the Spacers. So immediately we are entered through the hatch and we are in a computer core room. This is a Nova Galactic computer core room. I always like Nova Galactic. I believe it's Nova Galactic, so if what I'm about to say, I could be completely contradict myself later when I do a teardown, but I quite like Nova Galactic ships because they're quite lived in, which makes sense. Like Nova Galactic are not a thing anymore. A lot of the ships, they're like, I don't think they still manufacture. It's just, you know, ships are still alive because they're being maintained. But it's really cool, really lived in. And then through here we have a all-in-one berth, I believe. Yeah, that's right, an all-in-one berth. You got some beds there. Again, oh, is that a fan? Oh, it works. That's kind of cool. Don't know why you need a fan in space, though. I feel like that's fair enough. And then we've got a little table here for your crew to chill. And we've got a nice view out the front, which is really nice. I like these sort of I like these portholes as opposed to the kind of the you know, the square ones, the rectangular ones. So then if we go up to the next level, we are in this is a computer control room. We've got, this is where most of your crew capacity is coming from. Your crew can do all their kind of calculation and their work, which is nice. Got a little bit of storage here. And then we have a docking port up there, so you can dock. And then if we go past here, we have the cockpit. Now, I love Nova Galactic cockpits. They're my favorite cockpits in the game. Even though Nova Galactic, I don't think is meant to be like a purely combat manufacturer. They were more like general jack of all tradesy. This just feels like a combat vessel. Like, it feels very kind of like no thrills, you know, just the bare minimum. So you've got the pilot seat there, and you've got the co-pilot and your navigator beside them, and they're like kind of lower down, which is kind of cool. I feel like you can like look over their shoulder to make sure they're doing their calculations right and not going to send you into a black hole. But anyway, let's take her up for a spin. I'm kind of expecting good things from these ships because they're, like I said, they're jack of all tradesy, but they're pretty good. Only got a pair of those engines from Relodyne, which hopefully they're enough to lift us. Well, not lift us, but you know, push us around. We've got those Nova Galactic landing gear. So, looking at the power.
Recalculating.
So I have
And orbit stabilizing.
I have 5 points.
Perfect.
Because of a perk, so I get 5 extra power. So because of that, I'm going to be removing 5 points. So just looking at the current configuration, like I was saying with the reactor's not that good. You need to upgrade it immediately. Weapon-wise, we've got the laser weapon. We've got that ballistic cannon, and then we've got 2 of these EM weapons, which, ooh, they take a long time to come back with only 1 pip in them. But yeah, so I'd recommend if you want to rock the basic loadout we're currently rocking, you need a better engine. Better reactor, sorry. We're going to do a quick speed test. So, base speed of... We're going to hit 140? No, we're not. Okay, so it's about 140, but you know. And then we get a boost speed of... Boost speed of 500, which is respectable. I really love how the Relodyne engines sound. They're really cool. We're going to do a quick agility test. Pitch. Okay, that initially seemed kind of fast, but that's quite slow. That's like a 4. Go yaw. Again, that's quite slow. It's like maybe a 4 or 5, and then the roll. So yeah, it's not a very agile ship. Or necessarily fast ship. I mean, boost-wise it's fast. But anyway, we're going to quickly go down to the planet and do a teardown. Alright, so here we are in the shipbuilder. I have broken it down. So there's 3 layers as usual. So on the top layer we have a Nova Galactic Magellan C1 cockpit. Really like that cockpit, as I've said many times. We've got a Nova Galactic 2x1 control station. We've got a little window, porthole top. Then we have a Connect Pro Docker top from Shroud Eklund above it. And then for modules, we have the 101DS Mag Inertial Reactor from Dogstar, B-Class with 16 power. Get this immediately, get rid of it and get a better one. We've got a Warden SG-100 shield generator from Sexton Shield Systems. It's got a B-Class, and it's got 525 shields. So again, probably get rid of this and put a better one. And then we have a H-20 Atlas HE3 tank from Dogstar, provides 300 jump fuel. And then we have this Caravel V103 cargo hold, gives us 395 cargo from Protectorate Systems. And then behind the reactor and between the engines, we have an Aurora 11G grav drive from Deepcore, B-Class with a max jump thrust of 27, which with the current weight classification gives us 24. We've got 2 of these Nova 1030 engines from Relodyne. They give their B-Class, they give 18,060 engine thrust and 3,950 maneuvering thrust. And then for more fuel tanks, we have 2 of these M40 Ulysses HE3 tanks, 150 each from Dogstar. And then we've just got a couple of these Nova Cowlings structural pieces. just to kind of merge it together. And then in the middle, we have a Nova Galactic living quarters 2x1. We have a Nova Galactic computer core 2x1. And then at the back here, we have a 10T hull or cargo hold from Sexton Shield Systems. 4 of these NG-15 landing gear port from Nova Galactic. And then we've got 2 of these vertical Horizon weapon mounts from Horizon Defense. And on the port one, we have a Dragon 241 laser from Horizon Defense, B-class, 1000 range, 23 shield damage, and max power of 3. Opposite side, we have a Mauler 106T cannon from Horizon Defense, B-class, 800 range, 23 hull damage, and 4 power. And then under, on each of the sides, we have an EMP 500 suppressor from Ballistic Solutions, B-class, 800 range, and it does 45 electromagnetic damage with 4 power. So I believe that is everything on this one. And then on the bottom floor, we have 2 things here. We have an NG-6 landing bay from Nova Galactic and 10T hauler cargo hold sextant, giving us 585. So yeah, that's the ship itself. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. Let me know if you is this a ship you like? Are you guys fan of the Spacer Jackal or the Ranger version of it, the default? Is this a ship you'd like to rock? Do you guys usually like to? Because I know initially I always used to go for the big C classes, but now I've started to work towards the B and even the A classes. So interesting to see if you guys are kind of similar. Do you guys like, you know, go for smaller ships or bigger ships? Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more of these videos, and also check out some of my other Manny reviews on the ships in Starfield. Thanks for watching, guys.